So I know we have a lot to talk about today, so I'm going to kind of walk you through here. And you and I have known each other for a long time, and that's part of the reason I wanted to do this, because I know you know the market, and I know that you've seen the market change over the last couple of years to something very different than maybe you saw 30 years ago. And maybe you've seen different markets over the course of that 30 years, and maybe the last 2 years have been something like you've seen before, okay? But things have changed since February of this year, compared to what we saw over the last couple of years. So what I want to do is, if you can give me some perspective on, secrets for the sellers to achieve success with listing their home in this ever-changing market, and then also how to position the buyer to win in this market as well, because it's moving very quickly, and so they have to kind of move with it to make it work.
Right. I think for sellers, and this is going to, I don't mean to sound flippant at all, but it's just a good example. I think sellers have to realize that they can't get disappointed if they don't have 24 offers in the first 2 hours of going on the market, because things have shifted. Nothing's going to heck in a handbasket, certainly, but things have shifted. The rates have gone up. They're still historically low. So we have to keep that in perspective, but they've gone up so that buyers have lost purchasing power as a result. In any event, it's still a great time to be a seller. And I think we just, with our help, hopefully, we agents, we need to recalibrate, educate, and, set expectations that are going to be different going into the summer than they were February, March, even April. So, markets change, and we all have to change with it. And I think there are also creative things a seller can do. For example, you've done a great video on buy downs, or maybe it's if a condo isn't moving at the rate they'd want to see it move, pay the condo fees up front for a year. Just be creative. I have a condo at the moment in Fairfax that has been a little bit slow. So I did a broker open the other day, and we haven't done those since the beginning of the pandemic, and certainly not for a condo, but it was great, and we advertised it well, and now the showings have picked up this week. So that's great. And I think for buyers, at this point really need to study the sold comps and even look at the pendings. And they need to look at, when they look at the sold comps, they need to look at, obviously there's a lag time between contract ratification and settlement. So you have to really look at what the ratification date was on that particular comp in order to really understand where the market was when that sale was made. And then what I would say is based on that data and your agent's advice, make a reasonable offer. If it's a home you really want to buy, don't go in so low as to shoot yourself in the foot, because it gets everything off to sort of a negative start. So really, make a reasonable offer based on the information that you're looking at.